Hey, hello, hi guys, how are you? My name is Leo, here's How to IT. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do something else, something fun, overclocking. Yes, I think it's time to overclock my old PC. So without further ado, let's dive into my computer. So as you can see, that's my computer spec. I running the old generation, 6 years old generation i7 4790K, still 22 nanometer, 32 gigs of DDR3 RAM. I didn't overclock the memory speeds because I'm mainly focusing on video editing for these machines. But if you want to do gaming, higher speed memory does help the FPS out quite a lot. So I may include that on the video later. So right now I'm gonna stick with the defaults like 1600 megahertz. So motherboard I'm using the Asus motherboard I'm using the Asus Z97 Pro Wi-Fi. Motherboard doesn't affect the performance but give you a feature. In this case you need a decent motherboard to overclock your CPU. And graphics I'm using the GTX 1080 and the other graphic is Intel integrated graphics. In this case, especially when you're using the old PC, the integrated graphic does help the video rendering a lot if you're in Intel side. Storage, the main storage is the 500 gigs A50 Evo. I'm happy with the performance. Like SATA SSD, fine, I can deal with it. But when I doing video editing, I cannot take any of like lag or anything. So I purchased another NVMe SSDs. I also bought a adapter because my motherboard, even though I have an M.2 slot, but that one does not support NVMe. So I bought a PCIe adapter to plug in this drive. So that's all the specs. When I overclock it, very simple nowadays for Intel. You just use this software, the Intel Extreme Tuning Utility. That's all the secret sauce I applied to my CPU. I didn't touch any of the base clock because that one will affect your video clock speed and cache and will be a mess. So I stick with the 100 megahertz for the base clock. Right here said reference clock, so whatever. And also the voltage, I turned that up to 1.4 volts. Yes, that's high, but my CPU can handle it and my cooling can handle it. I'm just using the 212 Hyper 212 from Cooler Master. That one is awesome, good deals cooler, just $30 cooler. Can overclock this CPU for this level. Happy with that. And I also build I at least bought tens of that for building the past PC. So highly recommend for that cooler. Very good for the price. And the other thing I changed is I didn't touch any of this, and I changed the clock speed to all core to 4.8, and I turned the first core to 5.1 gigahertz. That 300 megabytes, that help very little for some cases, but generally it's like 4.8. like you see right here, the system recognizes 4.8, but for some cases that extra it does help a little bit. So if it's right now I test this system is stable, so I'm happy with that. Another main factor you want to overclock is the cache. I can push my CPU to the multiplier for cache is 46, so that's the max I can push, and I didn't change any of the voltage for the cache. So that's everything I changed for the CPU. Right now I'm so happy with it. Before I overclock it, so I really want to upgrade. Right now I'm happy with it. When I do video editing, when I scrub through the footage, I didn't get as much as less as before I overclocked my processor. So now I can like hang in there with this setting my CPU, wait for the next generation. So right now I'm gonna share some footage I take earlier, and let's see the benchmark. Let's go. So there you go, that's the performance you can gain from overclocking your old CPU. So I think the gain is substantial. If you have the same processor, I'm highly recommend you overclock your old CPU like me. Yes, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Neil. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.